Hey guys, and welcome to the workout brief for Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be our run this week. So, in similar fashion to last week, what we're going to do is we're going to do repeats. For this week, what we're going to do is we're going to do a pyramid set of repeats. All right, so you are going to do a 400-meter run. You're going to then rest for 3/4 of the time it took you to do that run, and then you're going to do an 800-meter run. Again, 3/4 rest, and then we're going to go up to a 1200-meter run and then back down 800, 400, okay? Once you do your run, just check and have a little look at the time that it took you to do that. Roughly take 25% off of that and then rest for that amount of time. Again, you can use Strava or another sort of fitness tracker to do this, or you can measure out your distances on Google Maps, or you can just work out a 400-meter route and just do circuits of that for the 800 and the 1200. Again, to warm up for this, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a walk into a light jog, and then during the light jog for 5 minutes, we are then going to every minute do a stride. We've been doing these for a couple of weeks now, and it's a good thing to practice to try and get your muscles firing at the rate that you want them to for the workout. If you go into a jog and then go into a run, you're basically telling your muscles, let's just go at a jog pace when you go into the actual run, and it becomes a little bit harder to try and pick that pace up during the workout. So in the stride, 100-meter section of trail or road, or roughly about somewhere around a sort of 20-30 second segment, you're going to start to increase your speed up to a sprint, only for a couple of seconds at the sprint, and then back down again. Okay, so you're taking your muscles through the full spectrum of the rate of contraction that they're going to be expected to do, and it helps you try and go a little bit faster during the run. So give them a shot again this week. You should be getting pretty good at them by now. In the workout, try and focus on maintaining a pace that you set in your 400 meters across the 800 and the 1200. Again, this is at about a 70% level of exertion, so it should feel somewhere around a 7 out of 10. Okay, it's not full out sprint, but it's also not a jog. Okay, it's a decent pace run. Once you finish that, we're going to have a look at some ankle mobility drills. So I've popped a video underneath the Beyond the Whiteboard part. Don't know what the name for it is. Below the workout and Beyond the Whiteboard. Basically, we're going to try and do some ankle mobility using weight or a band or both if you've got them. Okay. The basic principle is getting your foot. Need to angle that forwards. Let's move the camera. Okay, so if you can pop your foot up on an elevated surface, so a weight plate or something underneath you, or a yoga block is a really good option for it. If you've not got anything, no worries. From there, you're going to try and push your knee to full, as far forward as you can. A good thing to do is to have a vertical surface like this and see how far away you can get from that wall while still touching your knee to it, okay? Without your heel coming up off the ground. So if I inch forward there, that's where I can get to. So if I mark that line there, that's as far as I could get. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a weight, okay? We're gonna pop it on top of the knee, and you're gonna try and just let that knee come forward as far as possible, all right? Keeping that heel on the ground and let that drive forward. If you've got one of the rubber bands that we use in the gym, one of the thicker ones, you wanna start to put it around the ankle down here, pulling back the way, all right? Full description in the video, but have a little play with this as a way of just trying to get a little bit more ankle mobility. You'll start to feel this pull in the back of the Achilles, and you'll start to feel some compressive force around here. That's why you want the band in there if possible, okay? And just anchor it to a door or table leg, anything like that you can, okay? Once you've done a section of that, just have a retest. So put your toe up to that line, see if it feels any easier to get that thing to slide forward, okay? And over time, this is a really good way of just testing if your ankle mobility is getting better. Ankle mobility is one of the key things that you can try and improve to try and get a better squat. So have a little focus on that. If you've got, say, I don't know, in the kitchen, for instance, you've got tiles, or if you've got planked floorboards, it's a really good way of like going, all right, I'm 2 floorboards away, and try and get to 3 floorboards away from the wall before your heel lifts up, trying to get the knee to touch. All right, that's going to be our focus for Wednesday. Have a good workout, and yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. How do you sign these things off? All right, catch you later, guys.